The Coalition of Human Rights Experts has called on the federal government to enact more robust legal measures to address and prevent torture in the country. The coalition made the call at the opening session of a capacity building for members of the National Committee Against Torture in Abuja. They asserted that a stronger legal framework is crucial to providing adequate safeguards against violations of human rights. ADBN correspondent Mohammed Joshua has details.
Since Nigeria ratified the United Nations Convention Against Torture over 2 decades ago, the implementation has faced scrutiny from various human rights experts. To exert pressure on the federal government for convention implementation, experts at the National Committee Against Torture workshop emphasized the imperative of stronger legislation against torture and the need to bring perpetrators to justice.
There are many learnings that have been taken away that enhance their capacities and also mean that there is going to be a stronger response in terms of both legislation as well as actual action in the field in order to help people who have been victims of torture in order to get redress and to hold perpetrators to account.
We bring about accountability for perpetration of torture in Nigeria to ensure that perpetrators of torture are held accountable, are brought to book, and also on the other hand to ensure that there is access to justice for victims of torture.
They emphasized the need to create public awareness in the fight against torture.
The issue there is around spreading the word, making sure that people realize that this is a change, this is different. Practices of the past that may have been acceptable, under the previous, not quite as focused on human rights periods of time, they're not acceptable anymore.
A representative from the Nigerian Correctional Center pledged continuous training for its staff on human rights violations.
We are trying to train people and retrain our staff to know that in the first place that torture is not there.
Experts at the workshop highlighted solid and effective ways to stamp out torture and other related advices to ensure justice for victims and survivors. From Abuja, Mohammed Joshua,